Billy Harris. You're hanging with Harris. We're in the legendary James Beard House. My good friend Mitchell Davis. How are you, Mitchell?
I'm hanging with Harris.
You are hanging with Harris. Nothing can be bad. I'm shaking your hand.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. You and I had lunch, I think, last month, and it was your 20th anniversary. I'm starting with that right
It
there.
was here at the Beard Foundation, 20 years.
And
Amazing.
being VP of the Beard Foundation, let's just start with that. What does that mean? What do you do here?
Well, it's a busy place, as you know. We've got the awards, we've got our scholarships, we have our conferences, our dinners at the Beard House, the chefs that you're filming. We're a small group, so we do a lot of strategic planning, a lot of programming. We try to raise money, we try to raise awareness of food and support our mission, promoting American cuisine, let's say.
Yeah.
But I mean, in that 20 years, so much has changed in the organization, but really in the food world at large.
Amazing.
Yeah,
right?
chefs, the interest in chefs and in media and in the explosion, obviously, of the internet and videos like this. And I think of James Beard, obviously, who predated me by many generations, but we call him America's first foodie because there was no such thing as a professional food writer or a cookbook author. Food was a hobby or whatever. So even 25 years ago when I started and went to school, it wasn't okay to become a chef really from a middle-class family. And I do think it's such a different time in that it's an okay thing for anyone to do in America to some extent. And I think that's an amazing shift.
Sure. So speaking of food and cookbooks, you have 5 to your name.
I have 3 that I've written myself and 2 that I've co-authored. But again,
foie gras and things like that.
Foie Gras, A Passion with Michael Gnor, who's the man who
king
brought foie gras to
absolutely.
America. Kitchen Sense is sort of my chef d'oeuvre. I always used to call it How to Cook Everything Else, just as a little jab to Mark Bittman, who is a friend.
Right.
I have a PhD in food studies also. And
of course you do.
Who doesn't these
Who doesn't?
days, right? And what my dissertation was about the influence of media on food culture. And I do think that food and media are totally linked. Like I think that if you look at any of the great food cultures around the world, New York being ours in America, great food cities, they're always the hub of media and they're the hub of food and other forms of culture. One of the great revolutions, I think, in food has been the internet and the access that people have to put it out there, to write blogs, to sort of become their own tastemakers.
To watch this.
To watch this,
food.
yeah. The radio show, I mean, even the blog we do at the Beard Foundation, my TED Talk, are ways that we get our message about the importance of food as a cultural art form, not just because it's delicious and we take pleasure in food, which we do, but because we think everyone has the right to know about food and to be educated about it, to eat better, to have access to the best food. And so I have this funny life that even though I've been here for 20 years at the Beard Foundation, I've been able to touch all these other areas that really help further, I think, what our mission is at the Beard Foundation, which is to make better, more wholesome food and the sort of benefits of a sophisticated food culture available to everybody.
The theme of the World Expo in 2015 in Milan is
feeding the planet.
Feeding the planet.
So really, so the World's Fairs continue to happen. Even they started in 1852 in London, and they're sort of an international body like the Olympics that oversees them and chooses the city. And Milan is the choice for 2015. They chose as the theme of that entire gathering of 140 countries from the world, food. And through that selection of a theme, we've come as an organization to put together a team that won the bid to create the American Pavilion.
Right.
And we're calling it American Food 2.0 because most of the world only knows 1.0, and it's hamburgers and Coca-Cola, all the things that we all love and grew up on and everything that are still amazing, but that's what has been exported over the last 50 years. We know there's a lot more going on here that the world needs to know about, and it's the artisans and the chefs and the producers and the farmers who are growing amazing things. And so 30 million people will come from all over
the world
experience
in a 6-month period.
And it's a huge deal. The State Department, Congress, the White House are all behind this idea of using what's happening in America as a form of soft diplomacy, they call it, to show the world that we're not just hamburger-eating barbarians, but that there's more there, and to show that really food has taken on a whole new dimension.
All right, so Mitchell Davis, VP of the Beard Foundation, cookbook author, TED Talk person, radio host personality, part of the American Pavilion at the World Fair, and last but not least, one of the 50 most influential Jews in the United States or in the world. I think I'm number 7,000.
Well, most of them are in the U.S. probably. So I think it also shows the value that people are placing on food that I was selected. Sure. But I think it's part of the energy and momentum in the food world has to do with people rediscovering their roots. We're a country of immigrants. It's something we're going to show at the World's Fair.
Sure.
Is sort of the diversity of American cuisine. And kids, if you look at chefs, you just ate at Momofuku and David Chang, they're celebrating what they used to be made fun of or used to try to hide has become the center of the enthusiasm. I put Jewish food in that category, and it's sort of a time where we're all just looking for some authentic thing to hang hang our hat on. There's something to this sort of rediscovery of some authentic past that we can claim in the world of food.
It's an exciting time of food. It's an exciting time at the James Beard Foundation. I thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Good
man.
luck in DC.
Glad to have you here.
And we'll
Thanks.
see you real soon. Thank you
Awesome.
very much.